Welcome, everybody, and thank you for joining us today for our CONNECTpreneur Rocket Pitch. Today is the first part of a two-part virtual event, this other session being tomorrow at 11 a.m. Eastern Time with the same Zoom link that you're using to log into today's session. CONNECTpreneur is a global community of over 25,000 investors, CEOs, entrepreneurs, and business leaders, and professional service providers from around the world. And today is our 97th CONNECTpreneur event and our 45th virtual CONNECTpreneur Rocket Pitch event. And we've had over 1,100 presenting companies over the last 12 years. Half of them have received funding from investors they met through our platform. So our CONNECTpreneur Investor Network now totals over 4,000 accredited investors, qualified purchasers, angels, family offices who are interested in investing in the awesome deals that they can meet through our community and through our events. And hopefully today you've already had a chance to download the program book. If not, don't worry, our team will post the link to the program book into the chat box today. A couple quick things about today's event. We have 6 awesome presenting companies. Tomorrow we will have 4. So instead of doing one longer, larger event where people get a lot of Zoom fatigue, we decided to split it up into 2. So we have 6 today, 4 tomorrow. And after our last presenter today, we will open up the breakout rooms for about a half an hour. And each one of the breakout rooms, we'll have 6 of them. Each one is hosted by one of our presenting companies, and you'll be able to enter and leave whichever breakout room that you like. The purpose of the breakout room is for our presenting companies to go deeper with interested investors and partners. And please remember that these breakout rooms are hosted by the presenting company, and it's for them to get to know investors better. So you can use the opportunity to learn more about them and set up follow-up meetings with them. Also, we have a group chat box, as you can see. Feel free to introduce yourselves. Please be tactful and respectful when you use it and not overload the chat. And then also, before you go into the breakout rooms, be sure to save and download your chat history so you can watch or read through it after you leave this meeting. Also, our presenters will be posting links to their deck and executive summaries into the group chat, and also potentially registration information for follow-on meetings and or their Calendly link so you can set up a direct meeting with them. Also, we're doing investor polls, and these are for investors only. So we have a poll after our 3rd presenter and a poll after our 6th and final presenter. And these are confidential. We don't publish them. We will strictly pass along the contact information for the investors to our presenting companies, who will then follow up with the investors. So again, we have 6 total presenters today. Each presentation is around 4 minutes, no Q&A. The Q&A you guys can do in the breakout room. Couple other things, our CONNECTpreneur community, we have a awesome YouTube channel with hundreds of videos of our alumni presenters, so please check it out and subscribe. We also have a free Slack channel with over 4,000 business leaders on it. Again, that is free. You can use it to engage with other members of our community. We're going to post the links into the chat box. And just a program note as far as upcoming events, tomorrow again is part 2. So at 11 o'clock Eastern, we'll be on the same Zoom link for 4 presenters tomorrow. We also have our next in-person events locked in November 8th at the beautiful Johns Hopkins Carey Business School campus in Baltimore. And this event features the best tech and investor networking on the East Coast. And we will have a slate of awesome presenting companies. And the same thing goes for the evening of December 18th in person here in Tyson's Corner. We will have another CONNECTpreneur holiday forum. So please mark your calendars. Our next virtual event is in November. We will put the links for all of our events on there. 2 other quick notes. If you want to sponsor or present, just reach out to Skylar, who's our community manager. She's right here she's co-hosting today. So reach out to Sky and she can get you the information on presenting and sponsoring. And then we have 2 partner events we'd like to announce. This Friday, October 27th, the Asian American Chamber of Commerce has their annual full-day business summit at the KPMG offices in Tyson's Corner, Virginia. The website for that is asian-americanchamber.org. And last but not least, we have our annual Accelerate Investor Conference to be held in Arlington, Virginia and Washington, D.C. It's a 2-day event next week, November 1st and 2nd. You can go to acceleratedeals.org to find out more information or register. So now let's put up our first poll. It's a poll for our awesome sponsors. and they're the ones who make this possible. So if you're interested in utilizing any of these services that are there, please respond, and we will pass along your information to the sponsors. We keep this information confidential. And I would like to announce our sponsors. They are listed in our program book, so you can see. Next, powered by Shulman Rogers. We'll be hearing from them soon. Prince William County, Virginia, Department of Economic Development. Shulman Rogers, Association for Enterprise Growth, AEG. Refraction Innovation Hub, and I'm broadcasting from the CONNECTpreneur Lounge at the Refraction Innovation Hub. If you want to learn more information about using this space for free, you can go to info@refraction.one.one. And I think the first 3 visits to the CONNECTpreneur Lounge here at Refraction are free. It's the best co-working community in the Washington, D.C. area. We're half an hour from the nation's capital in the heart of Tyson's Corner. I also want to thank the Entrepreneurs Organization, Truist Financial, Keiretsu Forum, Baltimore Angels, Ryan and Wetmore, Maryland Tech Council, Startup Grind, Georgetown University Entrepreneurship Program, Northern Virginia Chamber of Commerce, Enterprise Transformation Solutions, Angels and Life Sciences Investors and the New Jersey Angels, FITCI, the Center for Advancing Innovation, the Dingman Center for Entrepreneurship at the University of Maryland, Founder Institute, the annual Wharton DC Innovation Summit, National Association of Business Owners and Entrepreneurs, and the MIT Alumni Angels of Washington, DC. And I also want to thank Citrine Angels, which is our newest partner. They are a female-founded venture fund angel group. They have all female investors, and they invest in female founders. So we want to thank them. And I want to thank you guys for answering the poll, which we can now end. So let's go ahead and get started. To introduce our first slate, our 6 presenters, I want to introduce Jake Haskins, who's an associate with Next, powered by Shulman Rogers. Next is a longtime CONNECTpreneur partner, so thank you, Jake and team. Next is disrupting the way startup law is being performed with packaged offerings on a fixed price basis. This innovative new model for the delivery of legal services, it offers predictable and reasonable legal fees through these fixed price packages. And as validation, Next was selected by Law.com and Legal Week as the startup emerging growth law firm of the year, beating out several huge and well-known firms. And Next has also received accolades from Legal Times and the American Lawyer for being so innovative in their model. So I want to congratulate you, Jake, and your team, and welcome, and thank you so much for your support over the years.
Well, thanks so much, Tien, and thank you so much to Skylar and the entire CONNECTpreneur team for putting on this this great event. And we're super honored to be longtime partners and sponsors of this event, which is really a leading event of connecting sort of all of the constituent members of the VC startup ecosystem and putting them together in one place. And our mission is to empower startup success, just like CONNECTpreneur through those legal services that Tien just mentioned. So we're just super excited to be here today and kick off this event. So the first company I have the honor of introducing this morning is Adappear. Adappear designs cost-effective medical devices which prioritize patient safety and streamline patient care. So would you all please welcome Art Wallace, the founder and CEO of Adappear.
Thank you so much, and good morning. I'm Art Wallace. I'm a cardiac anesthesiologist, the chief of anesthesia at the San Francisco VA, and a professor of anesthesiology at UCSF. And I'm also the founder and CEO of Adappear. Adappear has created a new platform for patient monitoring, which uses machine vision and artificial intelligence, using no wires, tubes, cuffs, or electrodes on patients to monitor all patients in the hospital, nursing homes, and the elderly at home. Adappear is a Delaware corporation, privately held. We're located near San Francisco, and we're developing an artificial intelligent patient monitoring system, which gives constant bedside presence using machine vision and proprietary algorithms to monitor multiple parameters in patients continuously in the hospital. We can probably monitor up to 30 parameters, and we'll discuss that today. There's no physical contact with the patient. All sensors are done with machine vision. I'm Art Wallace. I'm a professor. I've developed multiple products over the years, including a cardiac output monitor. I worked on the off-pump cabbage. I developed perioperative beta blockade and a number of other products. Kai Cook is our director of our advisory board. He is a professor at the University of Utah and was the head of research for Draeger. And Mark Fine has 30 years of development experience in medical devices. What is our need? When I was a resident, I went to a code at 3 a.m. A 12-year-old girl had some oral surgery, and someone decided she'd be more comfortable if she spent the night in the hospital. At 2 a.m., a nurse entered the room, gave her a shot of morphine, and at 3 a.m., she was found dead. This devastated everyone involved, the team, the family, everyone. And these events are sadly more common than we'd like. At the present time, about 1% of surgical patients die in the hospital, 2 to 3% of medical patients, and many of these are from unmonitored situations on the hospital ward. I much prefer to go to a rapid response rather than a code, and continuous monitoring allows that. The current situation, nurses are very busy. They're overworked. They typically check vital signs every 4 hours, sometimes longer intervals. Patients are not continuously monitored in more than half of the hospital. And sadly, 40% of hospital deaths occur in unmonitored wards, and 60% of these are thought to be preventable. What have we done? We've created a new platform for monitoring. This uses machine vision, a camera array with a red, green, blue, infrared, and depth camera. It can see through blankets and clothes, measure respiratory rate, heart rate, saturation. We may be able to do blood pressure, and we can also do pain and many other parameters. We've tested this in 200 patients in the hospital and 30 plus patients in our volunteers to validate it. So we've done clinical testing on our device. What is the benefit of this system? First, it saves lives. It monitors every patient in the hospital, and it avoids the found dead in bed problem. It assists nurses with workload. It allows them to monitor every patient continuously without having to run in the room. This can be very, very helpful to nurses. It reduces hospital risk, and because each death incurs litigation and other costs, and it saves money for the hospital. We're able to create a platform for monitoring with multiple parameters using machine vision. How do we make money? We're using a SaaS model, software as a service, and also software as a monitor. The hospitals will purchase the systems and then pay a monthly service fee. This allows them to have upgrades. We develop new parameters, and we can develop about 1 parameter per year. We install the monitoring system, and we lay down the tracks. As people develop new machine vision algorithms, we're able to use these systems using our camera arrays in the operating room. This can be used for fall detection, administrative support, and other techniques. The proposed financing, we're issuing a convertible note. We're looking for a $3 million raise. It's a 5-year term with a 6% yield and a 20% discount. And we can provide a complete set of investment documents if you're needed. We expect the market size for this product to be between $8 and $35 billion. Thank you so much for the opportunity to present.
Well, thanks so much, Art. I now have the privilege to introduce Cellkey USA, Inc. Cellkey applies AI and analytics for glycoprotein analysis and biomarker discovery with enhanced accuracy and reduced time and cost. So please welcome Jae-Min Yu, Head of U.S. Research and Business Development for Cellkey.
All right, thank you. My name is Jae-Min Yu, the Head of U.S. Research and Business Development at Cellkey. And our company offers an AI-powered analytic platform for protein and glycoprotein analysis, which can be utilized for various research purposes such as biomarker discovery and target validation. So studying glycoproteins is significant in studying various medical conditions such as cancer, which is demonstrated by the work of Professor Caroline Bertozzi at Stanford, who won the Nobel Prize in Chemistry last year. And using mass spec for protein and glycoprotein analysis is a well-established method that researchers rely on to perform their studies. So traditionally, researchers have been taking the bimodal steps where they separate glycan chains from glycopeptides for the analysis. But this has some challenges, including limited scope of analysis, such as the specific sites of the glycan chains attached to the peptide. As a solution, our core flagship platform with an AI-powered algorithm called the Spec9 pipeline enables comprehensive glycoprotein analysis from mass spec instruments. Unlike the traditional method, our one-step solution precisely identifies and characterizes site-specific glycan chains as we analyze samples without the glycan chain separation step, which naturally leads to a shorter study time. In addition, the Spec9 pipeline is the only software capable of simultaneously analyzing two different types of glycosylation in a single sample. And the accuracy of our software was demonstrated by joining the largest glycoproteomics initiative called the HGI, where the outcomes were published in Nature Method in 2021. Our software is protected in Korea with various patents, and we are in the process of filing the US patents as well. So as a major application, we can generate a set of candidates that can potentially help finding new biomarkers for the different diseases from various liquid biological samples. For instance, we studied the distinction between cirrhosis and stage 1 liver cancer in patients by measuring the levels of fucosylation of a protein called AFP, which is a type of glycosylation in proteins instead of the traditional method of quantifying the levels of AFP itself. And as you can see, this new method increased the detection accuracy from about 60% to over 90%, showing the promise of utilizing our technology in clinical trials seeking a new early diagnosis or a companion diagnosis marker. We do have a few competitors in the States, but in general, we provide wider scope of analysis for the customers. And since all the studies are done remotely from Korea through the AWS infrastructure, where the labor costs are way cheaper compared to the States, we can provide more economic services compared to the ones in the States. So we have a highly knowledgeable and experienced team across different sectors with our core development efforts taking place in Korea. And to expand and grow our business in the States, we have recently established our US base of operations in Torrance, California, and we aim to continue fostering valuable business and research partnerships in the States. And this is a short list of our current customers and research partners in Korea with some notable companies such as GI Innovation, which recently went public in Korea, as well as Celtrion and LG Chem. So we provide pay-per-use analysis services mostly related to biomarker studies to our customers. And we can also offer subscription services for our customers that require more frequent studies. Fortunately, we have been able to secure some partners in the States already with a few ongoing proof of concept glycoproteomic studies from the University of Iowa and Baylor, prospective clinical trials with Harvard Medical School early next year, and distribution partners such as the biomarker lab at the Cedars-Sinai Medical Center and UCL. Our revenue has been growing over the past 3 years, and we expect to have an even higher revenue this year. Even though we recently closed our Series A financing round in Korea, we're still open to small investment from non-Korean investors as we see that as a momentous step towards our global business development. Thank you.
Thanks so much, Jamin. It's now my privilege to introduce PerVista. PerVista consolidates the technology and cybersecurity tools, services, and professionals into a single platform to serve the needs of small and medium-sized organizations. So please welcome President and CEO of PerVista, Vernard Wright.
Thank you. In recent years, our country has seen a rise in the number of school shootings, and these range from Columbine to Uvalde and lots of others in between. So what we've done is developed an AI-powered platform that looks at video streams from surveillance cameras in real time to detect firearms and proactively notify public safety officials so they can be dispatched to the scene. So what we are seeing now is that every year the number of school shootings is increasing. And of course, this has a tremendous toll on the US, and that ranges from financial to psychological implications. To counter this negative trend, what we've done is developed an AI model that matches what we're seeing in the video streams against firearms that exist within our database. And while public safety officials are being dispatched, we do notify public safety officials so they have real-time situational awareness by also deploying drones so they can see exactly what's happening inside the building, and go one step further by proactively also making sure the people who subscribe to PerVista are aware of what exists within their neighborhood through predictive analytics. And in addition to that, we also allow for the ability to be able to purchase public safety equipment through our secure online marketplace. Our platform is specific to each to each user, and we also leverage machine learning to adapt to real-time scenarios over time. And it's also securely hosted within the AWS cloud. The market for public safety in schools and universities is huge and growing. We've based our market estimates on a 10% penetration. So there are competitors in this market, but what separates us from those competitors is that we combine predictive analytics with drone technology to provide a holistic experience for subscribers. Our business model is based on 3 different revenue sources. The first is subscriptions that occur monthly for people who are using Provista. In addition to that, we take 10% of every transaction for equipment that's purchased through the marketplace, and we also get revenue from sales of equipment and customer installations. Our go-to-market strategy is based on 3 different things. The first is a soft launch of Provista to the Washington, D.C. and Baltimore regions this calendar year. Next year, we plan to expand across the U.S. domestically, and in 2025, we will be completely manufacturing all cameras and drones. We have realized significant traction to date. Most notably, we have a public sports team that has signed up. We also have colleges and universities that are going to be users as well, and we're launching next month. So we've assembled an expert team. It's an award-winning team. It's a team that has raised more than $100 million to date and overseen 6 successful exits. Our financial projections are based on realizing $45,000 in profit in year 3, 2026, and exceeding $200 million in year 5. To achieve this, we're asking for $2 million for customer acquisition activities, feature enhancement, and operations. And of this, we've already raised $352,000. So thank you for your attention. I look forward to discussing the future of school safety more in our breakout session.
Awesome. Thank you, Bernard. Great job. And thank you for everything you're doing. We'll put up our first investor poll. This is for investors only. It's confidential. We are not going to share the results with anybody, but for those of you who are interested, we will pass along your names to our presenting companies, and they will follow back up with you. While people are answering the poll, I do want to mention we have 3 more presenters today, after which we will have our second poll, and then we'll have breakout rooms for about a half an hour so that you can have an opportunity to get to know our presenters better and set up meetings and follow up conversations. So I still see results coming in. We are posting into the chat box information on our upcoming virtual and in-person events, as well as some events from our partners, as well as links to our YouTube channel and to our Slack channel. So feel free to subscribe and join and be part of our community. I still see some poll results coming in. So last call for investors who are interested in our first 3 presenters. Please answer the poll, and I think, Sky, we can take it down now, and I'll turn it back over to Jake, who will introduce our next 3 presenters. Jake?
Thanks, Tien. Next, I'd like to introduce Smart Sound Corporation. Smart Sound is innovating healthcare solutions and services, securing key technologies to diagnose diseases. So please join me in welcoming Jung Ho Lee, CEO of Smart Sound.
Nice to meet you, everyone. This is Jung Ho Lee from Smart Sound in Korea. So we are developing the AI stethoscope, and please kindly listen my presentations. So there are huge amount of people die from the undiagnosed heart and lung disease. From the elderly who struggle to routine hospital check to normal people, they don't have enough time to go to hospital and they always worry about the cost. But it doesn't need to do this way. The only warning sign is everywhere, as long as you can listen your health condition. So as all of you know, the stethoscope have a more than 200 history, and then the currently legacy stethoscope is only listening purpose. But we apply our new technology and we change the new paradigm shift in the smart stethoscope industry with our artificial intelligence technology. So currently, the medical the data can be divided into the hospital and home, and most of the hospital data is related with the X-ray, ultrasound, or CT like image data. And currently, home devices the lack of technologies to produce the accuracy result and only provide the number of your result. However, the sound data is the difference. So when you have a problem, or for your heart or lung, your sound is totally different compared with the normal sound. So smart sound want to let normal people to understand their heart and lung sound and then they can detect in the early warning sign. So our own sound technology can detect in those kind of the major heart and lung disease. And we only take 20 seconds for the measurement time and 3 seconds for the analysis time. And we can classify and triage your health condition. So smart sound can develop in the hardware for device and software for mobile and then web portals. Also, we have our own artificial intelligence to analyze your health condition. So the core technology we using the microphone sensor to collecting the data and analyze it. So currently we have 4 kind of the smart stethoscope device, and then one device we already approved for the FDA 510K, and then we are entering the USA market soon. And also we have a new product with the veterinary smart stethoscope, and then we are launching in the global market. So currently our status for the AI. So we are luckily we participating the 2 major data collection project in Korea, and currently we're collecting more than 200,000 of the abnormal auscultation sound data. So that at this time, so they are using our stethoscope. The doctor using our stethoscope to collect and label the patient sound data, and then so we can produce more than 80% of the AI accuracy, and then we can detect in the 6 kind of the major lung disease and the 8 kind of the major heart disease with our solution. So also the smart sound auscultation solution is able to connect with not only for the legacy system like EMRs or cloud, but also we can provide our mobile and the PC SD window SDK to link with the third parties, the service and solution together. Yeah. So in addition, so comparing with the legacy stethoscope, we can make it more the revenue accelerations by our solution, because the legacy stethoscope is only the one-time selling and then but only target for the medical experts. But our solutions can be target for hospital, telehealth, insurance, and home care. So we can provide added values, the AI subscription model to our potential partner to make more profitable the business model. So we can target for not only for the B2B for hospital, we can target for the B2B solution company. Also, we can target for the B2C and B2G home care market. So we have several strategic partners so far. So we cooperate with more than 80 university hospital, and then we have many B2B strategic partner. And those partners they help us to go to the global market, also improve our AI more and more. So also comparing with the USA's the competitors in the stethoscope industry, our strength is we are not only target for the heart or lungs, we can target for the both disease together with the high accuracy of the AI analysis. So we have many user case and the reference in the Korea and the global market. So non-face-to-face auscultation, telehealth, and the home care for the senior and the chronic patient with our AI. Also, we have several intellectual property to prove and protect the technology for the sound and artificial intelligence. So thank you for your listening. And last thing I want to say is the hyperconnectivity is the main key for entering the legacy and the new market. So I strongly believe that the stethoscope and the AI stethoscope can be connected between the legacy market and the new market. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Jung Ho. It's now my privilege to introduce Tensor Health. Tensor uses sensors and gamification to help engage patients in their home exercise and ultimately improve clinical outcomes. So please join me in welcoming the CEO and co-founder of Tensor, Lucas Murphy.
All right. Hello, folks. Hello, everybody. Thank you for dialing in. My name is Lucas. I'm the CEO and co-founder of Tensor Health. And Tensor Health is a Mayo Clinic-backed AI digital health company improving outcomes in physical medicine by gamifying rehab. Musculoskeletal care in North America is broken, folks. While 1 in 2 Americans suffer from musculoskeletal pain, there is a massive shortage of rehab professionals to treat patients, leading to long wait times. Clinical outcomes are poor due to low patient compliance with rehab, caused by lack of clarity and motivation in the rehab process. I was a perfect example of that. When I was 23 years old, I hurt my lower back quite badly, resulting in 2 herniated discs, and had to hobble around in pain for almost 4 years. No one could give me a clear, measurable, actionable path to recovery or assure me that I would recover. So my co-founder and I joined forces to completely overhaul the musculoskeletal care paradigm. And together we've built a management team who are expert in quantified health, gaming, wearable technologies, go-to-market in physical medicine, and scaling and exiting health tech startups. And our big insight is turning the recovery journey into a clearly defined, engaging, multi-level game, providing patients with the motivation and certainty to complete therapy effectively. Now, there'll be a video rendering in a second here, and you'll see our patented medical sensors that are used to engage the patients by measuring recovery status, turning the boring exercises into games, and dynamically creating and communicating the shortest AI-driven recovery pathway for each patient. And this gives therapists objective data on recovery status, allowing them to adjust treatment and flag patients requiring further intervention. And by doing this, clinics can actually generate additional reimbursement revenue. So a triple win across the board for patients, providers, and payers. Now, we have a B2B business SaaS model. Every clinic added generates $14,000 of revenue per month with an 86% gross margin. And the reason that clinics adopt us is because they can generate up to 20% of additional revenue per patient with Tensor. And secondly, we reduce their wait time and improve outcomes for them. So overall, they become more competitive in the market. Customer acquisition is scalable because once we're in, we're in. And what I mean by that is it's really hard to disrupt products that have been adopted by clinics and integrated into their workflow. And secondly, there's a lot of room to increase that contract value. That $14,000 contract is purely based on their hand therapy population, on their hand therapy patient population, and will grow substantially as we address the rest of their patients. You're talking about knee and hip and ankle and shoulder. And then thirdly, there is a hardware piece involved. These are medical wearables, but the medical wearables are reused in between patients. And as a result of reusing that hardware, we get an 86% gross margin kind of business. So from a traction perspective, we've successfully transitioned from pilot to signed commercial contracts with multiple accounts generating revenue. We have a fully developed and operational FDA-listed medical device. We've seamlessly integrated into the clinical workflow of over a dozen clinics. And we've proven that Tensor patients are more than 3 times more compliant with rehab compared to industry standard. We've also proven the ROI for clinics by demonstrating an increase of up to 20% of additional revenue per patient. And we've done all that with a proprietary tech stack that is defensible and protected by a US patent. And we also have massive growth potential. We have active pilots transitioning to paid contract at large hospital systems, including Mayo Clinic, UCSF, and Cedars-Sinai. But to keep up with this momentum and be at so many clinics and at the top institution in the country, we're raising a quick $750K now, 80% already spoken for by existing investors, new investors, and even owners of PT clinics. It's a convertible note with a very attractive value cap of $7.5 million, 20% discount, 5% interest. And the use of proceeds is to increase sales volume and scale operation. So with that, I invite you all to join our journey to level up the recovery experience for us and future generations. So please join us in the breakout room. And I also have scheduled a deep dive session for next Thursday at 3 p.m. Eastern, 12 p.m. Pacific, where I'll provide a live product demo and we can get into the details of the business and the deal. So thank you very much for the time today.
Thanks so much, Lucas. Last but certainly not least, we have Youth Bio Global. Youth Bio is pioneering tissue-specific gene therapies to rejuvenate tissues, improve organ function, and ultimately delay aging. So please join me in welcoming CEO of Youth Bio, Justin Yu.
Hello, I'm Justin Yu, who is the CEO and founder of Youth Bio Global. We are on a mission to provide cutting-edge wound and ulcer treatment using stem cell cultured with fully natural ingredient. There are problems for the patient with injured vessel, aging vessel, and ulcers suffering from the ischemic vascular disease due to the reduced blood supply. Specifically, those patients with diabetic foot ulcers are losing their legs with more than 50% of amputation rate. That's why US FDA designated as a fast track. We have discovered a solution using completely animal-free endocellular printed cell derived from human umbilical cord blood. Through intramuscular injection, those cells migrate into the lesion, stick to the arteries, and differentiate from endocellular cell, and finally generate the new blood vessel, showing us both angiogenesis and vasculogenesis. And EPCs are very unique, representing unipotent blood vessel generation. This is a POC in mice models compared to sham mouse and other type of EPCs. Apparently, only injected with gene-free EPCs survive much longer with high quantity of cells, and those EPCs have generated the blood vessel indeed. The diabetic foot ulcer market size is about $8.68 billion in 2021 and $14.8 billion in 2028. And advanced wound care market size is about $14.6 billion in 2022, and there's a forecast with $52.2 billion in 2032. Youth Cell Action has a clear and high value. It helps dermatologists, orthopedic, and plastic surgeons to seek to treat patients with wounds and ulcers by increasing the safe recovery rate and reducing the cost. Our RAQA lead has assessed the regulatory requirement for the first product. The first version of wound healing devices with clinical requirement is registered and available in US. And second version with the clinical study will be available in second half of next year. Also, third version for the diabetic foot ulcer indication using stem cell therapy will be available after the clinical study in 2026. Our team is comprised of myself, CEO and founder with more than 20 years of experience in medical industry, the CTO who is plastic surgeon who actually treat those patients with the wound and ulcers. There are also advisors who support preclinical and clinical research, and they are one of the key opinion leaders in the world. As I mentioned several times, our products have a clear benefit to be used. It's completely animal-free, and our cells are world-first and the only stem cells, and also EC-like. It's safe and effective in peace in the world, and both generating injured vessel and also generate the new blood vessels as well. It's possible to manufacture with high volume, and each indication with other type of ischemic vascular disease as well. We've got the investment with over $5 million until now, and we are expecting Series A fund about $2 million this year to prepare for first in human study next year. Our mission is to provide universal healthcare service for the patient with the wound and ulcers, and also a type of ischemic vascular disease. Thank you so much for listening, and please feel free to let me know if you have any question.
Fantastic. Thank you so much, Mr. Yu. We will put up our second investor poll. This is strictly for investors, and it's for our last three presenters. So that would be presenters 4, 5, and 6 from today. Smart Sound Corporation, Tensor Health, and then Youth Bio Global. So While you guys are filling out the poll, I want to say we're going to open up the breakout rooms very soon. Each of our 6 presenters today will have their own breakout room, so you can feel free to go in and out of whatever rooms you'd like. Also, as a reminder, tomorrow at 11 a.m. Eastern, we have 4 more presenters. We hope you like this. We decided instead of doing one long meeting with 10 or 12 presenters, we would split it up into 2 sort of smaller chunks to ease up on the Zoom fatigue stuff. Also, as a reminder, before you go into the breakout rooms, you want to download the chat transcript and read through it because there's a lot of activity in the chat. And as a reminder, November 8th, December 18th, we have in-person events here in the Washington, D.C. region, and we have our next virtual events. We do those monthly, November and December, and Emily will post the information so you guys can register on that. I think we still see last call for interested investors. Okay, why don't we take the investor poll down and put up our final poll for our sponsors. Our sponsors are the ones who make this event possible. I read out their names earlier. They're in the program book. So anyone looking for any of our services, this is confidential information. We will share your info only with each particular partner. We have, legal services. Next, powered by Shulman Rogers, provides accounting and tax services, information on economic development opportunities in Prince William County, Virginia, which is right outside the nation's capital, right outside of Fairfax County. They're our latest and greatest sponsor. Group health, life insurance, deferred compensation, wealth management and estate planning. If you want to join our ambassador program, let us know and Sky will follow back up with you. If you want to be a sponsor of CONNECTpreneur, if you want to present at a future Rocket Pitch event or even an in-person event, let us know and we'll follow up. So I think I'll leave it open for a couple more seconds, after which we're going to open up the breakout rooms, and we'll have the breakout rooms open for say half an hour or so until you guys are done. But we'll go ahead and open up the breakout rooms right now, and you guys can feel free to go in and out of whatever rooms you'd like. So again, thank you for joining us today. We'll see you tomorrow, hopefully at 11 a.m. And when we shut the breakout rooms, we'll all reconvene back here again. But I want to thank our sponsors. I want to thank our partners and our ambassadors, our prep team, and our presenting companies. So we'll be open for another half hour. So feel free to go in and out of whatever rooms you'd like. Thank you, guys.